This message is about the unity of the body of Messiah and the perils that it faces right now and in the past. It's probably be best if we look in the past to see, what Scripture tells about the churches that I just focused on Paul, the churches that he created and the troubles that he ran into with them. Am I not loud enough? I can move forward. Okay. A little bit, please. First, we should really reflect. What is the body of Messiah? Anybody? We are. Anybody that carries, that you always given the Spirit to, is part of the body. And we'll read later on, there's a lot to it. But a question about it, can anybody tell me if there's ever been unity of the body through history? Perhaps, Adam and Eve. But we see through history, the Catholics, they had unity for a while. They killed anybody that didn't agree with them. But they had unity amongst themselves. But, that went by the wayside when the Protestant Reformation started. But we see that the Protestants were, 4,000 different denominations now. So not really any unity there. It's just a bunch of division. Go ahead.
Joel and Kefa have differences.
Of course. Absolutely. But we can see even with Moses, they saw all the miracles. And Yah was with them doing it. But there was no unity there. We just read it, Cor. There's always somebody wanting to be greater. Somebody, just disagrees. It's happened to this assembly many, many times. I've only been here 10 years. And it's happened many times since I've been around. And, I'm not going to mention anything, but it's very important for us to try to work on this. And right now we're going to look at the different churches in the New Testament in the first century. And what we should notice about these is, it's easy to have divisions when you're meeting in homes. Say, for instance, Corinth was a large city. It was very massive, 400,000 people back 2,000 years ago. That's a lot of people in one town. And obviously they didn't have a set meeting place, because at the time the churches had just started. Corinth was, I believe, in the 50s, that it was founded. So, there was a lot of divisions in these different churches, but they were all persecuted or had all kinds of different things coming into them. First, there was the problems that Paul tells us about with the Thessalonians, the Romans, and the Philippians. Now, these churches were very good about sticking with what he taught them, but they were persecuted for it. The Philippians severely were persecuted, killed. They came after them just like they will us. If you think that this is going to be easy like today, it's not. They're going to want us dead. The Galatians and the Ephesians, they had the Jews coming in telling them that, you have to be circumcised and you have to keep the Torah. You have to become a Jewish proselyte. So they just pretty much put everything Paul taught them threw it out the window. They wanted to take them right back to the Torah, which there's nothing wrong with the Torah. The Torah is right. But now there's the Colossians. This church, they had a heresy going around that seemed to be a mixture of Greek, Jewish, and Oriental religions. Try to mix those up. As a sort of a higher thought cult. They called it their philosophy. But they were calling for the worship of messengers and intermediaries, etc., etc. And they had Jews coming in as well that were trying to bring the people away from Messiah, but to take them back to the Torah. Like I said, the Torah is very important to us, but as we know, we go by our master. Our master is the one that gives us forgiveness. Now, the Corinthians, they had 10 problems that they had to deal with, that Paul had to deal with in the book of 1 Corinthians. And the list is kind of crazy. Of course, we mentioned factions before. They had factions coming in and out, in different homes. Oh, we're of Apollos. We are of, Paul. But, it's Messiah that they're after. They had immorality in the church. They were suing each other left and right. I'm here to tell you, you don't want to get in the court system. When Messiah says, solve your problems first, you should do that. I'm still dealing with the courts because I didn't do that. 6 months, I'll be out of it. But they were having problems with being fed food that was offered to idols, abuses at the Master's Supper. I mean, this is serious. They had problems with marriage, disorderly conduct in assemblies. It told us of how women are supposed to be in the assemblies, and there was confusion about the resurrection. So they were being attacked from every different angle. The body of Messiah is all we have, and it's attacked daily. When you walk out into the world, they're going to attack you for believing it. When you walk into this assembly, there will be people come in here that attack us from inside. When I listed off those 10 things, you'll notice that some of them were external, but a lot of them were internal. They came from right inside the body. We all have the same master. Let's turn to Ephesians chapter 4, please. I'm going to focus mostly on scriptures that talk about the internal struggles that the body of Messiah had. Because mostly that's what we have to fight with, guys. We have to stand together. If we stand together, nothing can part us. I call upon you, therefore, I, the prisoner of the Master, walk worthily of the calling with which you were called, with all humility and meekness, with patience, bearing with one another in love, being eager to guard the unity of the Spirit of the bond of peace. One body, one Spirit, as you also were called in one expectation of your calling. One Master, one belief, one immersion, one Elohim and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all. But to each one of us, favor was given according to the measure of the gift of the Messiah. That is why it says, when he went up on high, he led captivity captive and gave gifts to men. But what does he went up mean, except that he also first went down into the lower parts of the earth? He who went down is also the one who went up far above the heavens, all the heavens, to fill all. And he himself gave some as emissaries and some as prophets, some as evangelists and some as shepherds and teachers, for the perfecting of the set apart ones, to the work of service, to the building up of the body of Messiah, until we all come to the unity of the belief of the knowledge of the Son of Elohim, to a perfect man, to the measure of stature of the completeness of the Messiah, so that we should no longer be children, tossed and borne about by every wind of teaching, by the trickery of men, and cleverness unto craftiness of leading astray. But maintaining the truth in love, we grow up in all respects into Him who is the head, the Messiah, through whom the entire body is joined, knit together by what every joint supplies, according to the working by which each part does its share, causes growth of the body for the building up of itself in love. So this I say and witness in the Master, that you should no longer walk as the Gentiles walk, in the futility of your mind, having been darkened in their understanding, having been estranged from the life of Elohim because of the ignorance that is in them, because of the hardness of their hearts, who having become callous, have given themselves up to indecency, to work all uncleanness with greediness. But you have not been so learned, Messiah. You have not so learned Messiah. If indeed you have heard him and were taught by him, as truth is in Yeshua, that you put off with regard to your former way of life, the old man, becoming corrupted according to the desires of deceit, and to be renewed in the spirit of your mind, and that you put on the renewed man, which was created according to Elohim in righteousness and set apartness and truth. Therefore, having put off the false, speak truth, each one with his neighbor. We are members of one another. Be wroth, but do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your rage, nor give place to the devil. Let him who stole steal no more, but rather let him labor, working with his hands what is good, so that he has somewhat to share with those in need. Let no corrupt word come out of your mouth, but only such as is good for the use of building up, so that you impart what is pleasant to the hearers. Do not grieve the set apart spirit of Elohim, by whom you were sealed for the day of redemption. Let all bitterness and wrath, and displeasure and uproar and slander be put away from you, along with all evil. Be kind towards one another, tenderhearted, forgiving one another, as Elohim also forgave you in Messiah. Messiah is ahead of us all. So we have to take his example. He never put himself above it. I mean, he is the teacher. He taught us everything. But he didn't put himself above us. He called us brothers. We're the children of Yahweh. All of us, each one of us. So it's incumbent upon us to humble ourselves to each other, even if we are slighted. We have to. That's what our master did. And I think they slighted him a little more than us. Next, we're going to go to Romans chapter 12.
Okay, what chapter?
Romans chapter 12. I put a title on this chapter I just read, The Unity of the Body. Romans 12 is a transformed life. I call you, therefore, brothers, through the compassion of Elohim, to present your bodies a living offering, set apart, well-pleasing to Elohim, your reasonable worship. And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of the mind, of your mind, so that you prove what is that good and well-pleasing and perfect desire of Elohim. For I say through the favor which has been given to me, to everyone who is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he should think, but to think soberly, as Elohim has given to each a measure of belief. For as we have many members in one body, but all members do not have the same function. So we, the many, are one body in Messiah, and members each one of each other. Now, having different gifts according to the favor which was given to us, let us use them accordingly. If prophecy, accordingly to the proportion of belief. If serving in serving, or he who is teaching in the teaching, or he who encourages in his encouragement, or he who is sharing in his sincerity, he who is leading in diligence, he who shows compassion joyously. Let love be without hypocrisy. Shrink from what is wicked. Cling to what is good. In brotherly love, tenderly, loving towards one another, in appreciation, giving preference to each other. Not idle in duty, ardent in spirit, serving the master. Rejoicing in the expectancy, enduring under pressure. Continuing steadfastly in prayer. Imparting to the needs of the set apart ones, pursuing kindness towards strangers. Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse. Rejoice with those who rejoice, and weep with those who weep. Be of the same mind towards one another. Do not be proud in mind, but go along with the lowly. Do not be wise in your own estimation. Repay no one evil for evil. Respect what is right in the sight of all men. If possible, on your part, be at peace with all men. Beloved, do not revenge yourselves, but give place to wrath. For it has been written, vengeance is mine, I shall repay, says Yahweh. Instead, if your enemy hungers, feed him. If he thirsts, give him drink. In doing so, you shall heap coals of fire on his head. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. It's hard to transform yourself, especially from this world when you get out there. And it's especially hard to love everyone you run across, because most people don't want to be loved. There's a lot of them that don't. But that's not what our Father asked us to do. Our Father asked us to love everyone. They were all created in His image, not ours. So Paul said somewhere else, who are we to cast disparagements on someone in Yahweh's image? That He made in His image. Because we don't know what's going to happen down the road. There's Dawkins, one of the biggest atheists around, when they put him on the spot, he goes, "Oh God." And
Oh, wow.
they put him on the spot, he goes, "Oh God, it's in here. I know it is." We don't know who Yahweh is going to bring back to Him, no more than they know. But we have to show compassion towards everyone. Next, I'd like to go to 1 Corinthians. This is a church that had so many problems. The Corinthians were attacked from everyone. 1 Corinthians 12, please. It's 11:11 in my book. Mine's a little different. And concerning spiritual gifts, brothers, I do not wish you to be ignorant. You know that you were Gentiles, led away to the dumb idols, even as you might be led. Even though that you were Gentiles, led away to the dumb idols, even as you might be led. Therefore, I make known to you that no one speaking by the Spirit of Elohim says Yeshua is accursed, and no one is able to say Yeshua is master except by the set apart Spirit. And there are different kinds of gifts, but the same Spirit. There are different kinds of services, but the same master. There are different kinds of working, but there's the same Elohim who is working all in all. And to each one is given the manifestation of the Spirit for profiting. But to one is given the word of wisdom through the Spirit, to another the word of knowledge according to the same Spirit, to another belief by the same Spirit, and another gifts of healing by the same Spirit, and to another operations of powers, and to others prophecy, and to another discerning of spirits, and to another kinds of tongues, and to another interpretation of tongues. But one and the same Spirit work all of these, distributing to each one individually as he intends. For as the body is one and has many members, but all members of that one body, being many, are one body, so also is the Messiah. For indeed, by one Spirit we were all immersed into one body, whether Yehudim or Greek, whether slave or free, we were all made to drink into one Spirit. For indeed, the body is not one member, but many. If the foot says, because I am not the hand, I do not belong to the body, does it therefore not belong to the body? If the ear says, because I am not an eye, I do not belong to the body, does it therefore not belong to the body? If all the body was an eye, where would be the hearing? If all hearing, where would be the smelling? But now Elohim has set members, each one of them, in the body, even as he pleased. And if they all had been one member, where would the body be? And now there are indeed many members in one body. And an eye is unable to say to the hand, I have no need of you. Or again, the head to the feet, I have no need of you. But much rather, those members of the body which are thought to be weaker are necessary. And to those of the body which we think to be less respected, these we present greater respect. And our unseemly members have greater seemliness, whereas our seemly members have no need. But Elohim blended together the body, having given greater respect to the members which lacks it, that there should be no division in the body, but that the members should have the same concern one for another. And if one member suffers, all members suffer with it. Or if one member is esteemed, all members rejoice with it. And if you are a body of Messiah, and members individually, and you are a body of Messiah and members individually, and Elohim has appointed these in the assembly, first emissaries, secondly prophets, third teachers, after that miracles, then gifts of healing, help ministrations, kinds of tongues. All are emissaries, all are prophets, all are teachers, all are workers of miracles. Do all have gifts of healing? Do all speak with tongues? Do all interpret? But earnestly seek the better gifts, that yet I show you a more excellent way. In the church of Corinth, they had people they believed that speaking in tongues was very, very special. And they all coveted that particular gift. And this is one of the things that Paul was dealing with. Now, they're all coveting that gift, but if there's nobody there to interpret, then only Yahweh's listening. And we're supposed to be edifying the body. All the gifts that we're given here to praise our Creator, but to edify the body and help everybody along, because like I said earlier, not everybody's at the same point in their belief. Not everybody's in the same point in their journey. It's a long way. And not everybody's all there. But our Father in heaven, He's our example. So we have to follow his example. And I'm going to I burned through this really fast, Howard. I hope you're ready. But I'd like to read John 17. This is Yeshua's prayer to us, basically. John 17. And everybody will notice that this prayer is coming just before Yeshua heads, to the Garden of Gethsemane. And we know what happens there and farther on, but I believe this is the last prayer that he prays for his disciples. And Yeshua said these words and lifted up his eyes to the heavens and said, Father, the hour has come. Esteem your Son, so that your Son also might esteem you. As you have given him authority over all flesh, that he should give everlasting life to all whom you have given him. And this is everlasting life, that they should know you, the one true Elohim, and Yeshua Messiah, whom you have sent. I have esteemed you on the earth, having accomplished the work you have given me to do. And now esteem me with yourself, Father, with the esteem which I had with you before the world was. I have revealed your name to the men whom you gave me out of the world. They were yours, and you gave them to me, and they have guarded your word. Now they have come to know that all you gave me is from you, because the words which you gave to me, I have given to them, and they have received them, and have truly known that I came forth from you, and they believe that you sent me. I pray for them. I do not pray for the world, but for those whom you have given me, for they are yours. And all mine are yours, and yours are mine, and I have been esteemed in them. I am no more in the world, but these are in the world, and I come to you, set apart Father. Guard them in your name, which you have given me, so that they might be one as we are. When I was with them in the world, I was guarding them in your name, which you've given me. And I watched over them, and not one of them perished except the son of destruction, that the scriptures might be fulfilled. And now I come to you, and I speak these words in the world, so that they have my joy completed in them. I've given them your word, and the world hated them because they were not of the world, as I am not of the world. I do not pray that you should take them out of the world, but that you should keep them from the wicked one. They are not of the world, as I am not of the world. Set them apart in your truth. Your word is truth. As you sent me into the world, I also sent them into the world. For them I set myself apart, so that they too might be set apart in truth. I did not pray for these alone, but also for those believing in me through their word, so that they might be one as you, Father, are in me, and I in you, so that they too might be one in us, so that the world might believe that you have sent me. And the esteem which you gave me, I have given them, so that they might be one as we are one. I and them, and you and me, so that they might be perfected into one, so that the world knows that you have sent me and have loved them as you have loved me. Father, I desire that those whom you have given me might be with me where I am, so that they see my esteem which you have given me, because you loved me before the foundation of the world. O righteous Father, indeed the world did not know you, but I knew you, and these knew that you sent me. And I have made your name known to them, and and I shall make it known, so that the love with which you loved me might be in them, and I in them.
Hallelujah.
Everyone sitting in here with the Spirit of Yahweh in him, he prayed that for you. He prayed that for every one of us sitting here. Praying that we could be like him and his Father. They're one. That's the unity of the Spirit. We're not there yet. I believe when Yeshua returns, we know that it tells us in Isaiah that he's threatening that people that'll come up to tabernacles, they won't get rain for a year. They'll be punished. So he's going to bring unity in the body, but the body has to come together completely. And that can only happen through him. Any questions, comments? That's quick. You're up, Howard.
Hallelujah.
And so I hope somebody got something out of that, but Yahweh always speaks to me through while I'm studying.